What up YouTube, it's Mr. Company. In today's video, I'm going to be showcasing Baron Rivendare. He is by far my favorite hero in the game, favorite leader if you will. And we're going to be showcasing the deck that I use for him in PvP. This deck is super fun and it just has so much constant pressure, it just overwhelms the opponent. So let's go ahead and get straight to it. First, we're going to cover the deck and then we'll get into some PvP. Let's go. So first we have Baron Rivendare. If you're not familiar with him, he is on a horse and he moves pretty quickly. He has a slowish attack speed, but he does do a lot of damage and he's a little bit of a tank as well. But his most important trait is that every few seconds, he actually summons a skeleton on the battlefield from one of your bases, which is pretty insane. So Rivendare periodically summons skeletons at buildings you control. So both the turrets you control as well as those summoning stones that you saw in the example here. So even these will have a skeleton. And then once you have progressed your army forward and you start getting more and more skeletons, you're going to have skeletons going everywhere for just that constant pressure that demand attention in all lanes, which is very overwhelming to most people. Now, in terms of his talents, he has Death Pact, which is periodically sacrifice a nearby skeleton to be healed. So he heals himself. Skeletal Frenzy. Nearby allied skeletons gain Bloodlust. Okay. And then Chill of the Grave. Summons skeleton mages instead of warriors. By far the best, hands down for him, is Chill of the Grave. When you unlock his first talent, you have to pick Chill of the Grave because the skeletal mages will attack range units as well as sky units, which is a massive improvement from just a warrior that attacks literally nothing. So you're going to do more damage and you're going to be able to attack all units at all different ranges, at all different levels of the battlefield. And it's very overwhelming for a lot of people. Cannot wait to unlock this myself. So now that we have talked about it, let's look at the deck that I'm using for him. This is the deck itself. For the first one, I am using the Warlock, also known as the Necromancer. Necromancer is really good and provides a lot of pressure to the battlefield because he is not directly attacked because he has the little minions that will die first, and then he gets just rained down his attacks. Now, in terms of his talents, I am running the Breath of the Dying, but you could easily do Jeweled Skulls, which is also summon skeletal mages instead of skeletons for the same reason I talked about for Baron. Now, moving on, we have, just for a little bit of an off tank, I do run just a Ghoul. He's very cheap, easy to look at, and just drop wherever you want for additional pressure. For the non, I guess, branded or whatever you want to call it, I do run Worgen, which I actually tend to like more than the flying one because you can put him anywhere on the battlefield as well, and he starts in stealth. So you can literally put him behind enemy lines and immediately start attacking. My favorite thing to do is that when I am on a turret, especially like the main turret in PvP, once I get all of my units progressed, I will drop the Worgen behind the turret when the something else is tanking the turret aggro, and he gets just to rain down attacks on the turret. Very good. Then I run a Blizzard because just to be able to clear units, it's a 4 cost. It's a great spell. That's it. This is by far probably one of the best units in the game, which is Huntress. She is a 5 cost, but at a 5 cost, she does probably the most amount of damage. And she can hit both sky and ground units in an AoE fashion, which is pretty insane. And she does it very quickly and she moves fast. She is probably one of the best units in the game. Now, just for a little bit of sky control, I do run the Harpies, who are very cheap to run. They're a 3 cost. I do have the Talon Dive, so deal double damage on first attack. So in most cases, they are one-shotting most of the people they're attacking for me. Now, you could also gain the minor trait, cost increase by 1. I would not recommend that because honestly, I don't think that's worth it. If you don't get the Talon Drive, the Infectious Swipes is also good because you're applying poison. But between the two of those would be the 2 talents that I pick for those. All right, so that's going to be the talents. Now let's go ahead and jump into some PvP gameplay with Baron. And guys, I love this guy. So let's go and check him out. All right, so here we are in our fight. You can see he's got the Murloc dude. And we got him covered. I'm not worried at all. Let's go ahead and just get pressure down the middle. So you can see we already have the skeletons coming. I'm going to go ahead and drop Harpies as well. And I'm going to let Baron push a lane by himself, I think. Yeah, we'll let Baron push up here. Harpies are going to already win that lane, which is phenomenal. I'm going to slow push this lane as well, just for some added pressure, guys. And as you can see, this build is so much pressure. So I'm now basically winning all of my lanes, except for that one that is lost, which is fine. So we're going to go ahead and get another push here in the mid. Slow push in the middle. Going to let that guy come to me a little bit. And then we are, there you go, that's fine. We've got a couple hits in there. Nothing crazy, nothing to write home about yet. It's gonna go ahead and get some fast push over here. and this, and then I want to save, I think, my Worgen. So this should die pretty quick, I think. Boom, boom. Yep, love it. And then we'll go ahead and drop him over here once they're done. Okay, we'll put that for defense, and then we're going to drop him on that. We're going to drop these guys. So we're getting some good pressure on the turret. In fact, we got the turret. Love that. And we got Baron coming up the middle as well. I'm going to go ahead and drop my... All right, look at that push, guys. He stealthed again. I'm going to go ahead and drop my Necro over here just for the added pressure. And we're already winning by a pretty substantial amount. We already have a lot of pressure on their base. We're just going to overwhelm them now with the spawn of these skeletons, which is why I love Baron so much. As you can see, we just won that game as if it was nothing, guys. You win so many games, and that's with a talentless Baron, right? So, I mean, now the game has only been out for a day by the time you're seeing this video. So I'm only like bronze 2 or whatever, but still, that was a very, very easy push to win the game. Now, I would highly recommend you guys test this guy out. He's by far, in my opinion, the best leader in the game. So I would highly recommend at least trying this build out. It's super free to play friendly. And let me know what you think about the build in the comments below, guys. And until next time, lock it in.